What's up, guys, and welcome back once again to another Heart of the Swarm replay roulette match. My name is Lore, and today here on Star Station, up in the northwest corner, we have our red Terran, Toudeleski. Toudeleski. I'm gonna call him Toudeleski. Toodles. Maybe I'll just call him Toodles. That's pretty funny. Anyway, down here in the southeast corner, we got a blue Zerg, Brutus. Alright, so, a Terran versus Zerg. Quick reminder, this is just a random replay. I downloaded it 5 seconds ago, and now I'm casting it. I just pull these off of drop.sc, which is a very great website. Great place to host your replays if you're looking to share them with anybody. Or if you feel like sending them in to me. Throw those up on drop.sc and email me the link. That is devolore@gmail.com. And whoopsie, let's just ignore that little spoiler over there in the corner. We just won't pay any attention to that one. I mean, face it, it's on YouTube. You're going to know how long it is anyway. So, let's just get into the actual match. Terran versus Zerg. This has been an interesting match lately. Widow Mines have just sort of been the thing for Terran all over the place. The new unit added in Heart of the Swarm. It's kind of funny. Terran complained a lot about how they got like new units really in Heart of the Swarm after the Hellhound was removed. They basically just have the Hellbats, which are just a different form of the Hellion, and the Widow Mines. But holy crap, have they been using the hell out of some Widow Mines. Those are all over the place lately. They are proving very, very difficult for a lot of players to deal with. Meanwhile, Zerg has seen some interesting changes as well, especially in ZVT. Vipers have been very, very useful. And surprisingly, it's not as much for the pull. You see them used for the pull a lot, but I feel like a lot of people still haven't quite yet figured out how amazing Blinding Cloud is for ZVT. You drop that on top of their bio ball, and what are they going to do about that? They're gonna stand still and get surrounded by Zerglings and Roaches and die. That's what they're going to do when you drop the Blinding Cloud on top of them. So it's been really awesome watching this matchup, and I'm really curious to see what these two players have in store for us today. Reminder once again that this, as a random replay, I do not know at all what the skill level of these individual players is. Usually if the match is too terrible, I just don't end up uploading it because I don't want to waste you guys' time. But there is a possibility that we will not be seeing top pro-level GSL quality play here in this particular match. In fact, I would say there's a pretty high chance of seeing that. So anything can happen, and that makes these really, really fun to watch, actually. Seeing what players are doing at all ends of the spectrum. It can be a bit... It's obviously always good to watch top-level matches. They're always awesome and entertaining. But it can be really interesting sometimes just to see what's going on elsewhere, because you can kind of lose track that maybe not everybody is, Marine King Prime. Maybe not everybody is Stefano. So here we go. Here's our opener coming out of Toudeleski. We've got a Reaper on the way across the map. Reapers have... early Reaper aggression has definitely come back into style in Heart of the Swarm. Thanks in no small part to the jetpack, which obviously they've always had, but also the combat drugs. The fact that they can hop in there, do a little bit of damage here. It looks like he's actually going to get a drone kill here. Ooh, very nice there. Does manage to avoid that surround. There are now a couple of Zerglings out. He's going to try and get another surround off. Not quite able to get that surround in time. And now he's going to be able to just sort of hop around here a little bit. He's going to get off the creep. Going to be able to get some distance on them, hop down. May look to hop back up here, or is he just going to fly away and maybe take over this Zelnaga watchtower? Oh no, he's got a friend. He has now gotten a friend to join him, and look how quickly they heal up once they're out of combat. He's already back up to 51 health, back up in the green, and coming back in to do some more damage. This is why Reapers are so popular right now as an early opener. Now, I would say that Toudeleski is not really using them to their full potential at the moment. He's not really done nearly the amount of damage that they can do. But they will start to heal up there, and he can just continue to micro these around and do some damage. Meanwhile, he's expanding. He's getting factories up. He's getting more barracks up. He's getting a lot of good macro going on behind this. He's just sort of using this as a way to keep Brutus on his toes. Ooh, almost perfect positioning there for Brutus. Does get one Zergling, two Zerglings, and they can actually afford to take a little bit of damage now, too, thanks to that regeneration. They can actually just kind of stand there and take a couple of hits. Before hopping off. Gets them, see, right there, he was already low, he knew they were going to be there, so he just hopped up in there, killed off another Zergling and hopped up, and they will very soon be healing themselves back up once again. Now, meanwhile, Brutus is actually way ahead in supply at the moment. he says, all right, you know what? You're going to send out some Reapers. You're not doing too much damage with it just yet. He realizes he's not in any danger, and so he drones. Very, very good situational awareness coming out of Brutus here. He says, it's just 2 Reapers. I'm not going to die to 2 Reapers. What are you going to do? You're going to slowly whittle me away, and eventually I will kill those, and if they're really a problem, I'll pull out a wave of Zerglings. But in the meantime, I can just drone, and look at this. He's now 11 workers ahead in the worker count. Obviously, Toudeleski has his mules in there. That's going to help him out a little bit. But still, just really, really good situational awareness. And now he's going for a Roach War. And he says, all right, you know what? I've had enough of these Reapers. I'm going to go ahead and get out a Roach Warren, and this may actually be a very, very good move for him because now it looks like we've got a couple of Hellions on the way as well. And it looks like the Hellions have spotted these Zerglings, and as such, the Zerglings have now spotted the Hellions. Where'd that other Zergling go? Okay, so he's just scouting around, trying to figure out where his opponent is. Has not actually seen anything just yet. I'm going to watch here and see what he saw. Looks like he just saw the front. He just barely saw that there was a bunker there. Nothing in the bunker just yet. There now 1 Marine in the bunker. But he does know that his opponent is turtling up pretty hard at this point, which means he should be expecting some sort of 2-base tech. You don't go for a wall-in like this. The bunker maybe, but the supply depot's there. You don't go for a wall-in like that if you're not planning on sitting on 2 bases for a while. So what does he do? He drops down a 3rd base. Awesome. I love Brutus's situational awareness and his decision-making here. This is going to be a good match, guys. I feel like I'm feeling good about this one. He drops down the 3rd base. Says, all right, you know what? You're just going to sit back and tech. You're worried about me attacking you, so I'm going to not attack you. All of those defenses, this entire wall in, the entire... I mean, granted, you need supply depots anyway, but the time he spent... by the way, check that out. That's that new... I believe that's one of the new supply depot skins that you can actually get. That is pretty snazzy looking, I might add. But yeah, he just turns around and says, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and drop down this 3rd base. Now, these Hellions, however... could very, very slowly pose a threat here for him. He does have a few Zerglings ready, waiting on a few Roaches to pop out. Should be able to defend this, no problem. Should be no cancel on this. It is just those 6 Hellions. And as the Roaches come around here, ooh, very nice! The Zerglings swinging around behind for the flank. The Roaches are going to come in over here, try to corner him, and in come the Zerglings, and oh, that's so awesome! Thank you so much, Brutus, for doing awesome stuff. Oh, that is amazing. Very, very good play out of Brutus. I love that. He didn't kill all of them. He didn't get quite a perfect surround on that. But the fact that he had the presence of mind to say, you know what, he's gonna... Sure, he's burning down my house right now, but he's not gonna actually burn down my house. So I've got a couple extra seconds to just take a deep breath, think about it, run around the back, and try and get a flank off of here. And he got himself a couple of Hellions for it. He killed off 2 of those and significantly damaged a couple of other ones. So very, very... I'm a huge Brutus fan right now. I don't even know who this guy is at all, but I am a huge fan right now. This guy is doing some really, really good stuff. We got double medevac coming out. Looks like we're going to have a significantly large... Ooh, there's actually some of those Widow Mines. Wow, 6 Widow Mines out already for Toudeleski here. So we're going to be seeing some Widow Mine play with this Marine medevac. And a couple Marauders in there as well. So... whew, all right. Giving me a second to breathe, finally. Fantastic. Do have upgrades on the way for Toudeleski. A couple of upgrades on the way for Brutus. He is going for Banelings, which the Widow Mines will make using the Banelings a little bit difficult, but against this bio-heavy composition, it still does make a whole lot of sense. And look at this, 13 more drones coming out now for Brutus. He says, I pushed you back. You're at your base. I'm at your base. I'll be able to see if you start pushing out. I'm going to build some drones. There he goes, stimming. Could have actually... that is actually mostly a wasted stim. Does manage to get himself 1 extra, maybe 2. Yeah, it does get himself 2 extra Roaches from that. But the stim has now worn off, and that's gonna suck up a little bit of that medevac energy. He does have all of his Widow Mines loaded up in the medevacs, though, which means, oh my god, this is brilliant. He's going to be able to use that afterburners. What's that called? Yeah, afterburners. Come up in here. He's going to drop down the Widow Mines. They are now active. They're going to start firing off, and oh, so many explosions. The Banelings popping everywhere. The Widow Mines getting the kills as well. It looks like Brutus will be able to clean this up, but not at nearly the advantage that he could have if it wasn't for these Widow Mines. Now, there is a couple of Overseers here. He will be able to clean those up. It looks like 1 more Widow Mine shot did go off that killed off a few of those Zerglings, but, ooh, man, that was an awesome little battle there, guys. That was pretty intense. All right, so what do we got going on over here? We got a Zergling sitting over here just watching for this expansion. No third base out of Toudeleski yet. We are now about 13.5 minutes into the game, and still no third base. That's the longest it's ever taken me to get to third base. Sorry, that was a terrible one. I apologize. I'm sorry, Internet. That joke was stupid. Why are these drones here? What are you doing? This is not where you belong. Go mine something. You should be mining something. Where is that? There needs to be an indicator for where. There we go. There's the scan. Does just barely see that spire and the Mutalisks as they pop out. I believe that's the first he's going to know about this spire, though. Does he have time to get some sort of defense up? There we go. Already the missile turrets coming down over here for Toudeleski. None coming down at this expansion yet, though. He's going to need to get some sort of something against that, and Brutus needs to be moving out with these soon before there is time for... I don't even know if there's any Widow Mines in that area. This is just looking so juicy right now for those Mutalisks. If he only knew that he could get in there and do so much damage right now. Mutalisks are now beginning to move out. Looks like he may actually swing around this way and try to get up over here, but there are those, aside from there being very few SCVs, there are already some missile turrets up over there as well. And we do have a big ol' combination. Ooh, actually sending out some changelings here. Going to try and get a little bit of front scouting going on. I don't know why he's sending all of this in with it. I don't know why you're sending those in first. Is he... Oh, he was trying to get them to eat the Widow Mines, but it didn't actually work out for him. Did take a whole lot of damage from the Widow Mines, but there come the Banelings rolling in there. Not good micro coming out of Toudeleski. Does eat a whole lot of damage from the Banelings, but unfortunately for him, that will be the end of that. But here come the Mutalisks coming in there. This is mostly Marauders that's still in there, I believe. No, excuse me, there are actually several Marines in there still. He's going to be able to do some damage. Does lose one Mutalisk and maybe a second. No, the second Mutalisk will get away. Does kill off a medevac as well. Now, one important change that's happened towards the end of the beta for Mutalisks is they regenerate health rapidly. Look at how fast this dude's health that I've got selected, his health is going up. Already back up to almost 50 hit points. This couple of wounded ones from earlier are almost back to full already. He's going to be able to just sit these guys over here. They're a million miles away from anything. They're going to be pretty safe over there, and in a minute they're going to come over here. They're going to see a few missile turrets, but they're going to come over here and poke around a little bit more, and it's not going to matter. They're going to be at full health. Like, these guys are already at max. This guy's already back up to 70 hit points. It's no problem at all. Meanwhile, let's check in on production. We do have an Overseer over here who's apparently lost. Go home, Overseer. You're drunk. And now you're just bits and pieces. That actually stopped in midair. There was a little bit like a kidney or something that just stopped in midair right there. That's kind of funny. Do have more and more medevacs coming out. It looks like Toudeleski is pretty much just sticking with what he's got right now. Sticking with this Widow Mine Marine Marauder setup. Here come the Mutalisks coming in here. He does stim up the Marines to go up in there. The Mutalisks are just going to fly away. That's a whole lot of medevac energy that's going to get wasted on trying to heal those guys back up. Which it does end up mattering over time. You might say, well, you know, he's got several medevacs. That's what, like 6 medevacs? Yeah, he's got 6 medevacs out right now. So he's going to heal all of them back up. But if you can keep doing little pokes like that and keep getting them to waste their energy, they will never be at full energy, and thus they will just have significantly less healing to put out over a long period of time. Do have a big old army down here getting set up. This Widow Mine is leading the charge. Brutus wisely decides to back off. This Widow Mine is going to see the Banelings morphing. He's going to be able to burrow. Are they going to burrow in time? Down go the Widow Mines. They're about to fire. Oh! Look at that. Oh, canceling the Banelings. Nice move. Does manage to finish a few of them, though. The Widow Mines are deactivated. He may actually be able to get in there and do some damage if he decides to. He's going to get out a few more Zerglings. What's coming around up over here? Okay, we got the Mutalisks up over here. They have come down. The Widow Mines are on the move. They do have a fairly long cooldown on how long they can actually fire those little missiles off. It's about to come back up, though. The Mutalisks skirting dangerously close to their own death. Looking like we're going to have Toudeleski put some damage here on this third base. Supply is very, very even at the moment. Does manage to pick off a couple Marines there. Loses one Mutalisk in the process, though. Sending out a few Zerglings. Nice move there from Brutus. Sending out those Zerglings to bait out the Widow Mines, but unfortunately he didn't get all of them. But it doesn't look like it matters. So many Zerglings, so many Banelings in there as well, along with the Mutalisks, I can't really tell what's happening, but it looks like Brutus is... Yes, Brutus is going to come out on top in this particular engagement here. Not going to be able to catch those medevacs, unfortunately. They do ignite afterburners and fly away. But he's got to do something about... Ooh, got to do something about these Widow Mines. There's a couple of them about to fire again. There, the shots go off. There's 2 more dead Mutalisks. Whew, this game is back and forth, guys. After that big engagement, Brutus did manage to repel him, but Toudeleski's already back up 20 supply over his opponent here. This is an intense match. One Mutalisk goes off to his own death. Several Zerglings still hiding back there. Brutus not paying attention for a second. Loses so many Zerglings. There's just blood and Zergling bits everywhere on the battlefield right now. Oh, that's actually sad. Zerglings are kind of cute. I want a pet Zergling. I mean, outside of just like World of Warcraft and stuff. Anyway, what we got going on? More Banelings. The Widow Mines are burrowed. Those extra 2 are about to come off a cooldown. There it is. All 4 Widow Mines are now armed. Can Brutus save this expansion? If he loses this expansion, he's going to be in serious trouble. This is a 4th base for him. He does have this expansion up and running over here now. But Toudeleski has decided to get his own expansion in the midst of all of this. Very interesting move there, sending off a few drones. He says, I can't afford to lose any attacking units right now. I need to send out drones instead to get them to fire off the... There he goes, sending off a couple of Zerglings as well. And the Banelings rolling in on top and forcing themselves to detonate, but not quite able to kill it. This is one hero Zergling. Don't kill the other one. Kill it. Go over there, kill the other one. Zergling. Zergio, you're the chosen one. You could do it. Ah, no, he runs away. This one Widow Mine with 4 health. Anyway, another push coming in here. He does actually stim. Both of these Widow Mines are armed once again, but here come the Ultralists. Ultralists don't give a crap about Widow Mines. They just walk over top of them. Sure, one of them dies, but the other ones don't. And onward, here we go. Got to be careful. He actually detonated a couple of his Banelings up against that, but he's getting him cornered over here. He's got Toudeleski cornered in the back here. He's loading up into the medevacs as quickly as he can. They're going to afterburn out of there. He does lose 1 medevac full of units. This last Mutalisk just chasing off as quickly as he can, not able to take that out, but that is a significant number of units lost. The supply is starting to even up again, but oh no, over here, we've got a drop in the main. Brutus taking some damage there. Looks like he lost an Ultralisk or 2 and maybe some workers in the midst of that. Not too much damage done. We do still have just units all over the place. Toudeleski just using that Terran mobility to his advantage here, trying to get as much done as he can. Hasn't been able to do enough in these straight-up engagements. He's been doing damage, but not killing anything, really. Or not killing his opponent. He needs to be taking down bases. Needs to be hurting his economy. That's a lot of Zerglings to kill 1 Marauder. What is hiding out up over here? Oh, we do have a drop over here. Looks like it was just healing up, getting ready to come back in at some point, and there is now a 4th base on the way for Toudeleski. There's another drop just healing up. So we could be seeing, we need to be seeing, excuse me, another expansion out of Brutus here very, very soon. He is rapidly starting to fall behind. There's a couple of Mutalisks that apparently decided they don't want to live on this planet anymore, and so they don't. I love the new physics, just bits of Mutalisk flying everywhere. That's fantastic. I love that sound. I just love the sound of morphing Banelings. It means something awesome is about to happen. And in fact, it is. Very soon here, we're going to see another intense fight. I could just feel this one coming. We've got a big army over here from Toudeleski. Toudeleski up at 193 supply. But this army down here is not looking too bad as well. It's got the Ultralists in there. It's got the Banelings in behind. In go the scouting Changelings. And here it goes. He does stim to run back away. He's trying to get in there. The Widow Mines do manage to get a couple of big hits off. They took out a ton of the Zerglings in the middle of that. But Toudeleski is still running. He's trying to get away. More Widow Mines are now coming down here. The Ultralists appear to have gotten distracted and wandered off. The Banelings are now dead. And this army has been mopped up by Toudeleski. He's now at almost double the supply, and there he goes. Brutus recognizes that that was just too much supply lost in that engagement. I think he felt like he was farther behind than he actually was. There was a little bit of a drop going down in here in the midst of that as well, and I didn't get a chance to get to in the midst of that engagement. And there was still some damage going on down here as well. But I feel like I feel like Brutus could have maybe had a comeback still in the midst of that. It was possible to come back and win in the midst of that, but he was certainly at a very, very large disadvantage, and as such, he decided to just go ahead and call it quits for that particular engagement. Handled everything really, really, really well up until the end, where he just forgot to deal properly with the Widow Mines. That's something that so many players, they get in the end game and they forget about the Widow Mines. You get the big death ball and you just want to attack move, and then you lose half of your Zerglings in half a second. Anyway, still, GG's to both players. This was a fantastic match. I am really happy to have had the opportunity to cast it for you guys. I'm going to cast some more matches. My name is Lore, and I'll see you later.